Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading, beginning with the dice and buy shoes, no, and romantic dinner. It could be because of Valentine's Day. This reading goes through the 13th, Saturday the 13th, and then obviously Sunday is Valentine's Day. So there is the possibility that this would be the reading, the last reading you, at least of mine, that you seen before Valentine's Day. So that may be what that's about. We do have 29 here for spiritual partnership. Of course, that can possibly be spiritual romantic partnership. We have weekend away. People can be traveling again. Valentine's Day is a Sunday, so maybe you get yours kicked off on Friday or Saturday, and you even go away for a weekend. And we also have yes. Yes could be a marriage proposal. This is the general reading, but it could be a marriage proposal or some other kind of commitment or something, or maybe just yes, I'll go out with you. But we are starting with the Four of Wands, which is a card of commitment and relationships and home and hearth and family and joy and contentment and peace. And actually on the Hebrew calendar, the month of joy, Adar, begins on the 13th as well, I think it is. Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll go over it. Those of you who are interested, stick around after I finish the cards, and we'll talk about that after. So we'll confirm on what date it is. I think it's the 13th, though. And, that it's the month of joy, basically, on the Hebrew calendar. So that could be another reason why this is showing up. It's a card of weddings and proposals and maybe moving or redecorating, all those things that sort of bring us pleasure and happiness. And right behind it is the 10 of Cups. This is a card of family and love and partnership and, again, contentment. And maybe in a moment when you're enjoying life and living life, you're not necessarily thinking about your bills or other stuff. You're just feeling good for a moment, right? Living life. And the next card is in reverse. It is the Two of Pentacles. So some people could definitely be getting engaged and maybe to their ex who previously hurt them or who they previously hurt. Or contrary to that, maybe somebody's ex is getting married or they've gotten married and that's what hurts. But the Hermit is about somebody returning to your life. So maybe they had gone off and gotten married. That was a failure. And now they are back. They could be sending you a message that's delayed. The Wands in reverse indicates it's potentially delayed. I was saying some people could be getting married. Look, I opened right to that Hermit again. The Hermit is most directly a Virgo, but in love and relationship, at least with regard to the tarot, traditional meaning, it is about rekindling a relationship from the past. In a general sense, this is a spiritual card about clarity, learning more about oneself through introspection, learning more, period, in general, maybe about matter, a situation. Somebody else could be helping you to come into clarity. You could be helping to give someone else clarity. Those are all reasons why the Hermit would show up. The card behind it is the High Priestess in reverse. Potentially a Gemini or a water sign. But I keep trying to say, with weekend away, that could be maybe somebody gets married this weekend, right? They get married on or for Valentine's. Valentine's weekend is more Virgo energy, as well as that of Taurus and Capricorn. Maybe a younger energy or a youthful. Virgo is a mutable sign, so even somebody who is, older or more mature age-wise can still be very youthful and look very young. As is the case with the other mutable signs as well, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Speaking of Pisces, we have the King of Cups upright. This is love, relationship. Again, this is the general reading, but this is the kind of start we're off to. He is potentially a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone like into those traits or attributes. Particularly a Scorpio from your past that again, hurt you, or you hurt, or you both hurt each other, could be returning this week. Maybe unexpectedly, but it'll make you happy. Again, the Hermit is about rekindling a relationship from the past. The Ten of Cups is about joy, contentment, and happiness, and family and love. And the Four of Wands is about, yes, peace, happiness, joy. And that brings us to the Three of Wands in reverse, where that joy or happiness, abundance thing we're trying to manifest is on the horizon, still, again, possibly delayed. Maybe it's caught up with the message. And I started to mention the Emperor when in the beginning when I was talking about the Four of Wands, because the minor cards, they correlate to a major, and the major card that rules the number 4 is the Emperor, or the Emperor rules the number 4, period. So it can be about everything being in order. Like things are just right. Things are perfect. Things are as they're supposed to be. With the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups behind it, that's the message. Everything is perfect. Or, I just feel comfortable. I just feel happy. I just feel secure. Everything is exactly as it was meant to be right now. And then this is maybe waiting for that moment. Waiting for things to fall into place and to be in order. There's the Eight of Wands again. Now it's upright. So maybe like waiting, and for some people, maybe it has nothing to do with love. I mean, it could have to do with love and relationship or something else. It's not going to be love and relationship for everybody, but we're waiting for something again to be in order, maybe for paperwork to come through. We could be waiting for a court date or some other situation or instance where we'd be defending ourselves. In a more general sense, though, the Seven of Wands is about defending a decision that you've made. I'm going to pull 4 cards that will most, I think I'm going to pull 6 cards. Most directly represent us. Just in the mood to pull one about health and one about, one about physical health and one about spiritual health. So here they are in reverse again. Just turn them around. Doing all this is live recorded and unedited. The card that will most directly represent us this week is that Two of Pentacles. It's back, but it's upright this time. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, and just energy in general that is around us is very positive. It's that of the Nine of Cups. So like miracles and dreams could be coming true, could be trying to come true. The energy is like ripe for it. Work and finance. The High Priestess still in reverse. She could be tied to the paperwork. Again, especially the Gemini aspect, a representation of the High Priestess. Of course, Gemini and Mercury. It's all about communication. Again, paperwork and stuff. Something at work could be off. We'll talk more about that in a second. Love and relationship. Very nice. And again, something for someone from the past with the Six of Cups is often like your past revisiting you. It's also a soulmate card in the tarot. And a card that represents children. Sometimes for me, siblings, but that would have nothing, wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with love and relationship. So I wouldn't say it was that. I'd say it was, again, somebody from your past and or a soulmate relationship or a child or, being born or that you have already with a love interest or, mate or ex or something. So maybe like your child's other parent, even if you're not together or something like that, would be the only instances that are coming to me that may involve children as opposed to soulmates or someone from your past. Physical health. King of Cups in reverse. Ooh, that I don't know if I like. And spiritual health. Wow, isn't that insane? It's the Hermit. Isn't that insane? Seriously. Now, all these cards look positive, but I really am still getting something about like somebody's ex got married, or maybe they're in a new relationship, and maybe that's still ground reason for you to be happy. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's a good thing. Like, oh, I'm happy they found somebody else. They can leave me alone. Because especially with this energy, it's happy. Um, they got married, or they're with someone, or something. And then there's still the other possibility of, again, like one that had already done that. Their marriage is not good, and it may have ended completely, and that may be they may be coming back, and it could be a surprise. I mean, like, it could be very unexpected to you. All of a sudden, this person is showing up. And maybe that's what you want in your heart, because I'm going to go back to our overall energy, and in a general sense. So I'm off the love, but it's kind of still potentially coming with us, because in a general sense, the Three of Wands in reverse can refer to like a wish coming true. So if this is something that you've dreamed of, you really wanted, whether it has to do with an ex, or a job, or just something in your life, again, getting married, having a baby, your family being well and healthy, or yourself being, whatever your wish is, it could be coming true this week in a, like in a very positive way. So the card guides us also to like think carefully about what it is that we do wish for. Maybe we haven't made that wish yet, and we have an opportunity to bring something into our life that we want this week. And you're likely to find yourself, with some sort of sudden understanding or clarity or information or something coming to you, maybe about yourself, could be about other people, could be about the world, like at large, something general, maybe something about the country. I know I actually have viewers and supporters, people that order my readings and order my healing and stuff all over the world. With the only continent I have no clients on is Antarctica. So I definitely understand that we don't all live in the United States. People live in other countries, and they're dealing with different issues. And so you could be learning about something, coming to some sort of clarity about something that's going on in your country on a larger scale, or humanity globally, all of these things. And you can trust this information, this new knowledge. You can trust it. Okay. So that's very positive for us in terms of work. This is like taking steps, important steps in your job towards progression, whatever that means for you, in your job or in your career. So whether that means like, even going to a new place, whatever the important steps would be for you, this is a good week to be making those steps, and they could, be happening, maybe unexpected. I mean, right now you're not thinking about it, and then something goes on this week. Love and relationship, actually, it can be about difficulty that you've had in a relationship coming to an end. So that could be part of what I was feeling before too, and what we saw in the cards with the Three of Swords and the Death card, the pain and stuff. Whether it's recent, I mean, the card usually points to recent, but I'm thinking whether it's recent or not, like pain and difficulty that you had in a relationship or with a particular person coming to an end this week. If you are single, maybe you're looking for love, somebody may try to start a relationship with you. And you're guided to not be superficial about this, and, judge a book by the cover, as they say. But then again, for some of you, this could be an ex. Finances, it's pretty much the same as with the upright card. Again, something's on the horizon, right? Things should be looking up. Things should be getting better. So we have a very, good and positive overall energy this week. And then the card that most directly represents us, the Two of Pentacles, it's okay. It's not a bad card. It can mean that we might need to like step back from trying to manage so many different things. And these would be earthly matters, right? This the Pentacles, it's earthly. So like the multitasking is not our, like friend right now, or it's not agreeing with us. Right? We have fallen out with multitasking. We are not friends. And you just may need to cut back on some of the things that you're doing in order to focus on one or two like main priorities. And your financial situation could be something that needs more attention. Again, with the pentacles, and if not more attention in general, maybe balance. And that could be as simple as you need to like literally balance your checkbook, like write the stuff down that the checks, the withdrawals and the deposits, and reconcile it. Do people still do that? There are people that are not bookkeepers or accountants, they still do that. You need to do that. um just be sure that you're paying attention in that area, in your finances, like what's going on in your bank account. And it might be tied in with that other thing that I was feeling about misinformation, or like the paperwork and stuff. Like maybe your statement's wrong. Maybe you're owed some money. If it's not your bank account, maybe on a bill or something, it's not. So there's something not right. So just make sure that sort of all that stuff is right. And I think you'll probably be happy that you did. Some of you, at least, you'll find something. You'll say, "What the hell is this? What is this in my statement?" And you'll take care of it because you watch this reading. So the Nine of Cups is again a very positive card about wish fulfillment as well. So it goes very nicely with our overall energy of the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is our surrounding energy. So like everything that's like everything around us is this positive energy of like wish fulfillment and dreams coming true and prayers being answered, and our manifestation, that focused intention that we had held on over something, and the words we spoke over ourselves and the thoughts that we had, and everything like coming to reality in a positive way, or at least the potential for that. Right? These are minor arcana cards, so this can happen when they show up. That's what it means. This can happen. It won't necessarily, like we have free will and we have to do our part in that, in order to have it be so. Um, but yeah, it's like everything. It's not, nothing's carved in stone. But if you were asking a yes or no question, for example, this card is a yes indicator, and we also had yes in the dice. So does that mean that if you were asked a yes or no question, you are definitely going to say yes? No, of course not. Of course, it doesn't mean that. You're a person that's watching me on a video, and you don't have to listen to what I say, what my dice said, or what my card said. And so you may say no. You have the free will to do that. So that, yeah, that's what I mean by that. But absent that, barring that, this energy is ripe for dreams coming true, for manifestation, for positive happenings. So moving on to the High Priestess in reverse in the position of work and finance. Again, you may be confused about what's happening in your work life, at your job. There could be a need for clarity, as I was saying before, communication, needing to find out what is going on, what is my purpose, what's my motivation, all that kind of stuff. And if there is the opportunity and it's appropriate to ask someone else for help or clarity, then you should. Alternatively, like your own instincts may be telling you to just fall back, right? Lay low, and letting you know that things will become clearer soon, right? The High Priestess in reverse is still the High Priestess. So she's still this powerful person with, crazy intuition and understanding and psychic awareness. But when she's upside down, she's not, it's like something's blocking her messages. She's not clear. She's having trouble receiving her messages or interpreting her messages, even about herself. Like, if I was talking about it in a general sense, for example, the High Priestess in reverse for me, it has like body dysmorphia, because everyone's very attracted to the High Priestess. She doesn't necessarily find herself attractive, so yeah, like things like body dysmorphia, anorexia, bulimia, like I don't look like how everybody says I do to myself. I don't see something that's good. So it's the same thing in other areas. It's this like warped thinking or lack of understanding and lack of clarity. And then specifically with regard to the finances, um, it can be like a, somebody or a group of people, maybe an organization, again, like your job or something, a company, a corporation, is not necessarily being like completely honest with you about something having to do with finances or money. So again, this is being careful with paperwork and things that we have to sign, contracts. A bill might not be right. You could get, like one of these letters saying you, uh, what is that I'm seeing? Like identity fraud. Something could be going on like that. Fraud, fraud on your account, fraud in some kind of paperwork. Be careful at the beginning about signing your name. And during Mercury retrograde, we're supposed to be careful about that anyway, like signing contracts and stuff. So read the small print on everything. Just pay attention. I'm not really sure exactly everything that I'm seeing here that I'm supposed to tell you. Um, but like pay attention to your receipts, your paycheck, your bank statement. Um, yeah, any sort of contract or commitment you're trying to enter or sign. I don't know if you can trust the people that are involved, the person or people that you're dealing with. Moving on to love and the Six of Cups. So if you're already in a relationship, um, and maybe this could apply to those again with the ex coming back too, right? It's somebody that you're familiar with, that you have an understanding with, you have a history with, as they say. Um, the Six of Cups could be showing up to say you need to get focused or refocus toward the future. Like you can't keep on, and I would say this especially with an ex, right? You can't keep on with this how we used to be, expecting things to be the same, right? Things that stay the same are, it's the absence of growth, right? If something just stays the same, it's like stifled. The growth is stifled. You don't want that, not for a relationship. So this Six of Cups shows up to say like we gotta look toward the future. We gotta think about um, maybe ourselves, right? Your individual life. When you think about your future, you see this person, you think about this person too. Then go ahead and bring each other along, you know, on that mental journey, if that's the case. And if you don't see this person, right, they don't see you, then that's something that y'all probably should talk about. And it can help to, yeah, talk about also goals and dreams that you may have as individuals and or a couple, and maybe try new things, share your interests with one another. um, like you like to go bowling and the mate doesn't, so whenever you go bowling you go by yourself. Well, that can get a little tired, right? And maybe you meet somebody finally when you're bowling, and you meet friends on the league and stuff. Then all of a sudden you don't care if your mate comes or not. Then all of a sudden you don't care if they're your mate, right? You don't care about going home. You don't want that. So there's a time sometimes where you need to, like, even if you're not interested in your mate's interests and they're not interested in yours, you have to try to support each other in the things that you enjoy. That doesn't mean you have to go bowling every single week or day or whenever the league gets together or however that works. But sometimes, like you got to show an interest in the stuff that your partner does, and they should show an interest in the stuff that you do also. So that's what I'm getting. It's just important not to stay stuck in the past. And again, another very traditional meaning of the Six of Cups is an ex returning to your life, just like the Hermit means. So you need to think about whether or not you want to restart this romance. And if the answer is yes, it needs to be restarting in the present, looking toward the future. You can't be trying to recapture 1995, you know? That's not going to work. Um, and for most people, exes are exes for a reason. Some of us, do have an ex or two that maybe some sort of, stroke of luck or lack thereof is what caused, right, your separation. Never got into a fight or whatever, but all of a sudden they had to move, or you had to move, or, you somehow lost track of each other. They joined the military, you joined the military, you went overseas and then lost the number, and that kind of stuff happens. I had years that people, friends of mine, couldn't reach me because of 9/11 because I lost my phone number and stuff. Like, I literally lost my phone number. They had to change the wiring and everything in my street, and so I could never get that number again. And so they didn't know how to call me. It could be something like that for some people. So they're not exes by choice, and maybe it is your chance to get back together. Sometimes it is by choice, and you realize it was the wrong choice, or it was a choice that you made as a teen or a young adult, and so things are different now. Like I didn't want to get married at 21, but maybe now I do, like that kind of thing. Moving toward the future. King of Cups. He is in the position of physical health. I said, I don't know if I like that. I mean, it's not a horrible placement for him. It's just that how do I want to say this? All right, so especially for those who are in some sort of treatment under a doctor's care or something, this card reminds us, tells us to trust them, trust the healers in your life. Um, and I'm hearing it's for somebody, it probably has to do with the COVID shot. Like maybe you don't want to take it because a lot of people are hesitant to take a new drug, and I get it. I get it. Um, but then there is also something to say for people with comorbidities like cancer and diabetes and age and all these things that maybe there's reason, legitimate justifiable reason for your doctor to tell you to take the shot, and that those people should trust them. This is what's coming. This is not necessarily my opinion. Not necessarily not my opinion. It's just I'm just telling you what I see. Um, I can say I have seen in the news that some people have gotten sick and had adverse response, and a couple have even died that I've seen reported in the news from the shot. On a much brighter note, though, I've also seen that over 27 million people have had the shot. So if they reported that 5 have died, that's not really a lot. Again, it's not my opinion, just some facts from the news and what I'm getting. But it doesn't even have to be connected to the COVID shot. But you get the idea. It's about listening to the doctor or whoever the healer is. It's about the fact that this week, or what this card shows up to say, is that you can and should trust the healer in your life or in your situation. And even maybe be a little cautious when it comes to, you know, alternative healing for serious conditions that are already diagnosed. if you don't have a serious diagnosis, then this card doesn't show up to say anything scary. It doesn't mean that a diagnosis is coming, anything is bad or anything like that. It just says like take care of yourself. Treat your body with care. Right? It's your temple. Take care of it. And actually, the energy of Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio, rules a lot of this physicality and these like taking care of your body. So that could be who the King of Cups is, maybe. You look at this. You see this boat, this red boat here with the three sails? It's in reverse. I'm just noticing that it too is in reverse. Of course it is, but because the card's in reverse, it's also in reverse. But like looking at it here, it looks like a tiny version of the Three of Wands. So there could be a connection there also. And if that's the case, that's good, because the Three of Wands says that there's probably some sort of like upcoming report or test or whatever, um, like medical, that will be better than you expected or imagined. The results are being better. So again, I'll use COVID. Maybe you've had it and you're expecting to still be positive and it's going to say negative, or vice versa. You feel like crap and you think that your test is going to say positive and it doesn't. It says negative. And I guess that could be true of pregnancy too. Some of us wanted to say positive, some of us wanted to say negative. Whichever is the case, that's what it is. And basically, yeah, keep up the good work. So if they're together, then this is saying continue to take care of yourself and your body, and if you haven't been doing it yet, to start. And that will take us into spirituality and the Hermit. So this is a time when somebody, maybe like a mentor, the Hermit for me can be like a teacher, a professor, a mentor, a lawyer sometimes. And somebody may come into your life who is like a mentor, a teacher, or like that. They can show you. That doesn't mean they're going to be like some sort of practitioner that's going to actually give lessons, or happen to be around you and teach you something. But this is somebody that you would look to as a mentor. Like, oh, I admire them and their practice, and how well they know their stuff, and you learn stuff in like an organic way, a natural way, without necessarily trying to take a class. It could even be somebody that you're having a relationship with. I can't have a relationship with somebody if I can't learn anything from them, or like a man that doesn't teach me anything or show me anything, like, it's gonna be boring to me. I'm a Gemini. We bore really easily, and that doesn't mean he has to be smarter than me, like book smart. He could be other stuff, you know, know stuff that I don't know, um, and show me or teach me or enlighten me, or talk about stuff that I do know about, and we have an actual back and forth in a conversation. So it can be something like that too. It doesn't have to be necessarily like, oh well, let me look for a teacher in my life, like, oh, that must be the person that she was talking about in the reading. No, it could be something like, somebody, a family member, a friend, somebody in whom you're interested or involved, and just in a very natural and organic way, you come into some sort of understanding because of them. Sometimes just simply because the relationship is on this sort of spiritual level that's not been experienced before. The relationship itself is the lesson, right? Um, and if you feel like you need to pull away from your typical life, or from life in general, like just the ordinary, in order to get what you can out of this experience or person, you should, right? Because that energy, the opportunity, is not going to be there forever. So take it. and you'll start to feel more social, soon enough, and want to be around people again, soon enough. So take this time while you can, and like don't push yourself to be around a lot of people unless it's like you feel like it's necessary. And that goes for the health reasons too, right? It shouldn't be, at least not in New York. They don't want you doing all that. I saw something for a second. I lost it. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but anyway, empaths don't really like to be around a bunch of people and stuff, for a lot of reasons. I mean, one can be, especially if you're strong, like you could just constantly be picking up stuff from other people, and not necessarily know what to do with it or how to understand it or interpret it. So it could just be really stressful, you know, especially if like um I guess empaths, yeah, that don't, I don't know how to explain it or what to call them, but people that don't know the difference between their own emotions and other people's, like when they're picking up energy and they feel anxious, and upset, and they're not really sure why. Sometimes it's because it's other people's energy, but you may not understand that yet. You may never understand it. I don't know the level of your gift or what you're meant to have, and maybe you'll never understand it. But that's a reason too why like empaths don't like to be around a bunch of folks. So it could be something like that too. And that's what I have for you this week. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and all those things. If you just wanted to watch the cards, I'm fine with that. And I will see you again soon. Namaste. And those of you who are interested in sticking around, I'm gonna go to the calendars now, beginning with the Christian calendar, and February 11th, or 11/11, or 9, because the year is 2021, which equals 5. Um, that is the feast day of Our Lady of Lords. So another Marian feast day, as they say, because it's about Mary, Our Lady, our mother, um, as she is affectionately known by those who consider her to be such. And for a little more information on this feast day, I went to www.franciscanmedia.org. On December 8th in 1854, so 11/9, or 9/11, or 11, backwards. Because 1854 is 9/9 and December 11th is 20, or 11. Pope Pius the Ninth proclaimed the dogma of the Immaculate Conception in the Apostolic Constitution. A little more than 3 years later, on February 11th in 1858, which is 13/04, or 11/11, so it's like 11/11, 11/11, a young lady appeared to Bernadette Subrios. This began a series of visions. During the apparition, on March 25th, the lady identified herself with the words, quote, "I am the Immaculate Conception," end quote. Bernadette was a sickly child of poor parents. Their practice of Catholic faith was scarcely more than lukewarm. So they weren't all that religious, what that means, right? Bernadette could pray the Our Father, the Hail Mary, and the Creed. By the Creed, they mean the Apostles' Creed, also sometimes referred to as the Nicene Creed. They're slightly different, though. She also knew the prayer of the miraculous medal. Quote, "O Mary, conceived without sin," end quote. During interrogations, Bernadette gave an account of what she saw. It was, quote, "something white in the shape of a girl," end quote. She used the word aquero, a dialect term meaning this thing, like dike, this, right? It was a pretty young girl with a rosary over her arm. Her white robe was encircled by a blue girdle. And we see in the Bible in a few places that Mary wore a girdle. Right? Remember, she left her girdle behind for St. Thomas when she passed. Well, when she ascended, rather. She wore a white veil. There was a yellow rose on each foot. A rosary was in her hand. Bernadette was also impressed by the fact that the lady did not use the informal form of address, tu, but the polite form, vous. The humble version appeared to a humble girl and treated her with dignity. So she was like saying like speaking in like what they call like the first person, not the first person, the third person, like we instead of like you over there, we like she was making herself like akin to the girl, equal to the girl. That's what I mean by humble. Through the humble girl, Mary revitalized and continues to revitalize the faith of millions of people. People began to flock to Lourdes from other parts of France and from all over the world. In 1862, church authorities confirmed the authenticity of the apparitions and authorized the cult of Our Lady of Lourdes for the diocese. The Feast of Our Lady of Lourdes became worldwide in 1907. Lourdes has become a place of pilgrimage and healing, but even more of faith. Church authorities have recognized over 60 miraculous cures. Maybe that's where all the positive energy, the miracles from these two cards are coming from. Although there have probably been more, it says. To people of faith, this is not surprising. It is a continuation of Jesus' healing miracles now performed at the intercession of his mother. Some would say that the greater miracles are hidden. Many who visit Lourdes return home with renewed faith and a readiness to serve God and their needy brothers and sisters. There still may be people who doubt the apparitions of Lourdes. Perhaps the best that can be said to them are the words that introduce the film, The Song of Bernadette. Quote, "For those who believe in God, no explanation is necessary. For those who do not believe, no explanation is possible." End quote. Our Lady of Lourdes is the patron saint of bodily ills, physical health. On the Jewish calendar, as I mentioned before, on the 13th of the month, we begin the month of Adar for the year 5781. And for a little bit more on that, I went to www.chabad.org, chabad.org. Adar is the 12th month of the Jewish calendar, counting from Nisan. Quote, "When Adar enters, joy increases," end quote, the Talmud says, the Torah. This reaches its climax on the 14th of the month as we celebrate Mordecai and Esther's triumph over the wicked Haman. The spirit of Purim permeates the entire month, making it a time of unparalleled rejoicing and good mazel, fortune. Right? Luck, miracles happening for the Jewish people or for everybody. During a Jewish leap year, which occurs 7 times in a 19-year cycle, notice the numbers, they're speaking about God, right? 7 means God and 19 means the Father as we know it. And at least those of you who watch my channel, right? So really it's approximately once every 3 years that it falls on. There is an added month called Adar 1 inserted before this month of Adar, which is termed Adar 2 in leap years. And this aligns with the lunar months and with the solar year, ensuring that the holidays fall in their proper seasons. On the planetary calendar, we start with what? February 7th, right? That's Sunday. Yes. At 11:10 a.m., the true node, which is Gemini, will be quintile Chiron, which is the asteroid, the wounded healer. He is currently located in Aries. Has been for a while, like over a year. Was retrograde for a long time and then went direct about 3 weeks ago, I think. February 11th at 2:06 p.m., the new moon in Aquarius occurs. 23 degrees Aquarius. And that is it for the week. I'll do a separate moon reading for, so we can see what's up with that. And that'll be soon. Look forward to it. So thanks again. Like, share, subscribe, comment, as I mentioned before. If you're subscribing, please hit both the subscribe button and the bell button. I have tremendous problems with notifications and all that kind of stuff to my viewers, and I want you to know when I put my video. Thanks again. Namaste.